Welcome back to JR Pro Shop Vids, everyone. Today, Jungo is on the lanes. We got the Physix Blackout. I'm excited for this ball. I've loved every single Physix to date. So we're gonna be comparing this to the Ion Max and also the Attention Star S2. Just a little quick note here. The Blackout, black balls, dark balls, often travel a little further down lane before they start to hook. They retain their energy a little bit more. With balls that have white or yellow or bright colors in it, they tend to roll much earlier and lose their energy much quicker. The color of the ball matters. The color of the ball really does matter. So let's talk a little bit about the core, right? It's the atomic core, same core that's in all the other Physix, except we got AI technology this time. And if you compare the numbers between this ball and all the other Physix, the core numbers are a little bit different. RG, differential, and PSA numbers are all skewed a little bit. So the RG is one click lower at 247 instead of 248. So that means this ball is gonna get into a roll just a little bit sooner. As for the differential, we got 055 instead of 053. And we know differential means hook potential, right? So we have a little bit earlier rolling with the RG, and we have a little more hook potential with higher differential at 055. Overall, stronger ball so far. And also, last but not least, the PSA value is 018 instead of 017. So a little bit more flare as well. So we have a little bit earlier rolling, we have a little bit more hook potential, and we have a little bit more flare. This ball is gonna hook for sure. Just before we get bowling, let's talk a little bit about the cover stock. This has NEX Pearl, which is a really aggressive cover stock. The only other ball that has this cover stock was the Axiom Pearl, but there have been a lot of balls released overseas that have this cover stock, really aggressive, and first time we've seen it sanded. However, the solid version has been on many balls over here on stateside. We had the Proton Physix, the Supernova, and the Axiom. So all those balls hooked really early and a lot. All right, as we start bowling here, we're bowling on 47 feet Statue of Liberty. I felt like I needed a really long pattern for these really strong bowling balls. So we first started off with the Physix Blackout here. And the first shot I missed a little bit right and it came screaming back and we got a little bit of a light strike. The next two, I hit my target and we left 9 pins. So that just tells me I'm a little bit too square. So I ended up moving my feet 2 boards to the left and then we ended up throwing a couple nice strikes there. And that seemed to give the ball a little bit better shape going into the pins. We got a couple strikes there and I think that's the happy zone if I were to use this ball in this condition for score. So I ended up standing on 30 and my target was 21 at the arrows. If I hit 21 at the arrows, that ball was hitting the pocket for sure. But if I threw it a little bit hard, that 10 pin was the last to go. So as you can see, this ball is really smooth, really predictable, especially on the fresh oil condition of a long pattern. All right, so we've already determined that this ball hooks. It's got an insanely strong core, insanely strong cover stock. So I decided to compare it against the Attention Star S2, which is a asymmetrical hybrid, which is also sanded at 2000. Right away, I can see the S2 has much more back end motion. Definitely more of a defined hook shape. And you can see it just throwing those pins around pretty good side to side. That just means it has more angle and more finish in the back end. For the last 2 shots here of the S2, I moved 2 more boards to the left, and that seemed to be the happy zone for the S2. So I'm 2 boards left than the Physix here. And I think that's just because of how angular the S2 is in the back end. I needed to give it a little bit more time in order to turn that corner and hit the pins flush. We got the S2, definitely more down lane reaction, and the Physix Blackout here is definitely earlier and much smoother off the spot. I then threw the Ion Max, and I just had a feeling this ball would be really early and smooth compared to these other two, even as smooth as the Physix is here. So we threw it in the same spot. I stood on 30, and as you can see, that ball just reads the lane really early and just really flat going into the pocket. So this ball really doesn't like steep angles through the fronts. As you can see, it just loses its energy really fast, and it's got nothing left down lane really. So I left like a Swisher 5 pin there, carried it, and then I left the 10 pin. So that just tells you this ball is going through the pins too straight. I then moved 3 boards to the right with the Ion Max, and you can see how much better it is, right? I threw a couple really flush strikes here, and you can just see that this ball reads the mids and just smooths out into the pocket, and it's not gonna go crazy off the back end. It just can't. It just loses its energy too early. On the fresh, the Ion Max, you gotta be parallel with the boards. You gotta be playing a little bit straighter. As soon as you give the Ion Max a little bit of a swing, you know, it's not gonna recover in the back end as well as the S2 for sure. So far, after throwing a few shots with each ball, I think the S2 is the most angular, right? I think that ball is best suited for longer condition. It's got that real nice pop down lane, and you really don't have to worry about it turning that corner because that ball is gonna curve for sure. Right after that, we got the Physics Blackout. This is definitely earlier and a little smoother and covers a similar amount of boards, but you can tell the difference in shape with these throwing it side by side here, and both are really gonna be good on the long, just in different scenarios. So if the back ends are really clean and fresh and balls are really jumping off the back, you know, I might gravitate towards the Physics over the S2 just to smooth that out a little bit. But as I'm moving left and I really need to get that ball to ping off the back end, I'm gonna gravitate towards the S2 rather than the Physics. The S2 and the Physics are pretty similar across the board, right? Both sanded at 2000, right? We're asymmetrical, one's a hybrid, one's a pearl. But as you can see the reaction difference, you know, there's a gap between the two. And then below the Physics, we got the Ion Max. It's about 3 to 4 boards less hook, but the hook is much earlier. That ball revs up much sooner, loses its energy much quicker, and it's really straight through the pins at the back. So the Ion Max is for fresh conditions. There's just no way around it. It needs heavy oil up front and it needs dry boards down lane in order to react properly. If the heads are burned up, that Ion Max is gonna hook immediately and just do absolutely nothing. So Ion Max, definitely for fresh conditions, playing a little straighter, and once you gotta move left a little bit, that's when you get into the Physics or the S2. And then we had to move left, right? The lanes are starting to get burned up. I bowled about a game and a half, 2 games with all these balls, so I moved 4 boards to the left. I'm now standing on 34, and as you can see, the Physics here, how much smoother it is than the S2. I struck light, and I figured I just had to slow my ball speed down, and then we went flush a few times. So this ball is very versatile with speed control and hand positions. As I slowed it down, it read earlier, and it still continued through the pins really, really well. If you're moving left, gotta slow this ball speed down, still need a ball to corner, the Physics is gonna corner for you. It's really responsive to those hand position speed changes, which I just love. You know, when you're traveling to tournaments, you can't bring that many bowling balls. You really gotta play with your hand position and speed in order to make a ball work. So it's nice when a ball is able to do that and help you out. And then through the S2, moving further left, and you can just see how much more angular this ball is. I missed right once, and I missed left once, and both balls went dead flush. So this ball just creates a little bit more room on this pattern for me. So I think if I was really gonna bowl for score, really gonna bowl for money, I would use the S2, just because it has more down lane pop. That doesn't mean the Physics isn't a great ball, right? It's smoother, it's just smoother, that's it, right? It covers the same amount of boards, just a little bit earlier, a little bit smoother than the S2. So here in North America, you know, winter time's coming up, the weather's not too great, tournament time, right? And when you travel to tournaments, you can't really bring that many balls. So if I'm driving, I might bring 8 or 9, but if I'm flying, I'm only gonna bring 6. So I really have to gravitate towards balls that are versatile, that I can use on multiple conditions, multiple lines, etc. So the Physics here has been one of my favorites for that, the whole line. You know, I threw the Proton Physics forever, I threw the Infinite Physics forever, I threw the Astro Physics forever. Now I'm gonna throw this Physics Blackout, right? It's just very versatile. As you can see, I slow my ball speed down, still rounds the corner in the back end, can move left with it, can move right with it, you know? So if you really need a versatile ball at the top end of your bag, the Physics line, you know, they've been versatile the whole time, you know? Great balls. Tournament season here in North America, winter time. You guys need some new equipment, shop.bufabowling.com. He's got absolutely everything. Check out his website, you might find something you like. You might find a nice Christmas present for somebody, but don't forget the promo code JUNGO'S at checkout. See you in the next bit.
you.